Humanity has always looked upward. Long before science existed, before mathematics described motion, before language learned to name stars, humans raised their eyes toward the night sky and felt something unfamiliar, not fear, not hope. Let us assume that distance has been accepted, not solved, not defeated. Accepted. Humanity decides that journeys lasting decades or centuries are reasonable. That time, stretched across generations, is no longer an obstacle, but a cost we are willing to pay. This decision alone would already place us outside the logic of modern civilization. But even if time is accepted, survival remains. And survival in space is not an extension of life on Earth. It is an entirely different state of existence. Life on Earth is supported by an invisible system so complex that we rarely acknowledge it. Air circulates naturally, water cycles endlessly, soil renews itself, microorganisms maintain balance, gravity shapes every biological process. Remove any one of these, and life becomes fragile. Remove all of them, and life becomes artificial. This is the environment of deep space. A spacecraft is not a vehicle. It is ecosystem. And ecosystems are notoriously difficult to control. On Earth, we are surrounded by redundancy. If one system fails, another compensates. In space, there is no backup planet. Everything must be designed, monitored, repaired, and recycled continuously. Air is the first concern. Every breath converts oxygen into carbon dioxide. On Earth, plants, oceans, and geological processes handle this quietly. In space, the loop must be closed artificially. Carbon dioxide must be removed. Oxygen must be regenerated. Nitrogen balance must be maintained. Small failures accumulate. Filters clog. Chemical reactions degrade. Sensors drift. Short missions tolerate inefficiency. Long missions amplify it. A system that is 99.9% efficient sounds impressive. Over years, it becomes lethal. Water follows the same logic. Every drop must be recycled. Urine, sweat, moisture from breath. Modern spacecraft already recycle water with remarkable efficiency, but perfection does not exist. Losses occur. Happen. Microfractures develop. Each loss increases dependence on reserves. Reserves add mass. Mass adds cost. Food, even more complex. Plants, not just food, they are oxygen producers, psychological stabilizers, biological variables. Growing food in space is not agriculture. It is controlled biology under constant stress. Light cycles, radiation exposure, microgravity effects. Plants under gravity. Roots know which way is down. Leaves know which way is up. Remove gravity and orientation disappears. Experiments show distorted growth, altered nutrient transport, unpredictable yields. Now imagine relying on this system for decades. Disease, one mutation, one imbalance. An ecosystem can collapse quietly, without drama, without warning. Closed-loop systems on Earth have already demonstrated how unstable artificial ecosystems can be, even with constant human intervention, even with unlimited resources nearby. In space, failure is final. Survival systems are the sixth wall. But let us assume that life support works flawlessly, that ecosystems remain stable, that recycling approaches perfection. Another enemy waits patiently: radiation, not as a sudden catastrophe, as erosion. High-energy particles constantly pass through spacecraft walls. Each impact damages cells. Each year adds genetic mutations. Helps, but shielding has limits. Thick shielding increases mass dramatically. Active shielding using magnetic fields remains theoretical, and radiation is not uniform. Solar storms spike exposure unpredictably. One major event can overwhelm protections. Even if astronauts survive, accumulated damage increases cancer risk, neurodegeneration, immune system collapse. Radiation exposure is cumulative. There is no reset. This is not speculation. This is biology. Radiation, the seventh wall. Now consider the human body itself. Even without radiation, long-term exposure to microgravity causes profound changes. Bone density decreases, weaken. Cardiovascular systems adapt in ways that become dangerous upon return to gravity. Vision changes permanently. Brain fluid redistribution alters pressure. Astronauts returning from months in space require rehabilitation. Some effects never fully reverse. Decades would not be survivable without artificial gravity. Artificial gravity requires rotation. Rotation requires large structures. Large structures require mass. Mass requires propulsion. The problem loops endlessly. The human body comes the eighth wall. Then there, the mind. Perhaps the most underestimated challenge. Human psychology evolved for environments filled with variation. Colors, sounds, weather, unpredictable social interaction. Space strips this away. Interior walls do not change. Repeat. Routines dominate. Isolation becomes total. Experiments on Earth simulate isolation for months. Antarctic stations. Rains. Sealed habitats. Even under these conditions, psychological stress is severe. Depression, anxiety, irritability, cognitive decline. Now multiply this by decades. No fresh faces. No spontaneous events. No natural cycles. Time blurs. Meaning erodes. Conflict unavoidable. Even with careful selection, training, and support, the mind breaks under monotony. Psychological endurance is the ninth wall. Now let us imagine an even more radical solution. Generation ships. Vessels where the original crew never arrives. Where children are born, live, and die aboard the ship. This concept appears elegant. It spreads cost across generations. It avoids cryogenic uncertainty, but it introduces moral and social dilemmas. Children born aboard did not consent to the mission. They inherit confinement as destiny. They live entire lives inside metal walls. Education becomes indoctrination. Culture becomes isolated. Deviation becomes dangerous. What happens if a generation decides not to continue? What if reject the mission? What if they choose comfort over purpose? There is no enforcement without tyranny. There is no freedom without collapse. Generation ships create a civilization without choice. Ethics, the 10th wall. Even if social stability holds, technology must endure. Age. Materials, fatigue. Software becomes obsolete. Replacement parts cannot be delivered. Every system must be repairable indefinitely. This demands manufacturing capability aboard the ship. Factories, materials, mining, processing. Now the ship, a vessel. It is a world. A fragile, artificial world drifting through interstellar darkness. Technological maintenance is the 11th wall. Communication then becomes meaningless. Signals travel light speed. At interstellar distances, communication delays stretch into years. Questions receive answers after they matter. Emergencies cannot be resolved externally. Autonomy becomes absolute. Isolation becomes total. Communication collapse is the 12th wall. Energy remains. Far from stars, solar power vanishes. Nuclear reactors, the only option. Reactors generate heat. Heat be dissipated. Radiators increase surface area. Surface area increases vulnerability. Micrometeoroids, dust, collisions. A damaged radiator can doom a mission. Energy is the 13th wall. Arrival does not end danger. Deceleration from interstellar speed requires energy equal to acceleration. Failure to decelerate means flyby. And chance. Miss it, and the ship continues forever. Planetary environments may be hostile. Unknown chemistry. unknown biology. Physics. Arrival uncertainty is the 14th wall. Then economics. Interstellar missions require resources comparable to global economies, trillions in investment, centuries of commitment, no return on investment, no clear benefit, those funding it. Political systems struggle to plan beyond election cycles. Civilizations rarely commit to projects they will never witness completed. Economics and politics form the 15th wall. At this point, patterns emerge. Every solution creates new problems. Every breakthrough shifts barriers, not removes them. The universe does not forbid interstellar travel explicitly. It simply makes it impractical, inconvenient, unforgiving. This leads to an uncomfortable possibility. Perhaps the universe is not designed for expansion. Perhaps intelligence is meant to observe, not conquer. Perhaps stars are not destinations, but boundaries. In the next part, we will confront the implications. If interstellar travel is so constrained, why do we assume others have achieved it? Why do we search the skies for visitors? Why does silence disturb us? And what does that silence really mean? At this point, it changes. It is no longer whether we can reach the stars. It becomes about why no one else seems to have done so. The universe is vast beyond intuition. Hundreds of billions of stars in a single galaxy. Hundreds of billions of galaxies in the observable universe. Even conservative estimates suggest that planets are common, rocky planets even more so. Liquid water appears naturally under many conditions. Organic molecules form spontaneously in space. Chemistry favors complexity. Time favors accumulation. Given enough time and space, life should not be rare. Yet when we listen, we hear nothing. No signals, no artifacts. The visitors. No clear evidence of technological civilizations beyond Earth. This contradiction is not subtle. It is profound. It is known as the Fermi paradox, a simple question hidden inside overwhelming silence. Where everyone? To understand why this question matters, we must understand probability. If even 1 in a million planets develops intelligent life, the galaxy should be full of civilizations. If even 1 in 1,000 of those civilizations develops technology, there should be thousands of detectable societies. If even 1 in 100 of those attempts expansion, the galaxy should already be transformed. Stars would show signs of engineering. Energy use would leave detectable signatures. Communication would leak into space. Yet telescopes see natural processes. Radio surveys detect noise. Space, untouched. The silence is not neutral. It is evidence. One explanation is comforting. Our first, the universe is young. Intelligence is rare. We are early. But this explanation struggles against time. The universe is over 13 billion years old. Our galaxy formed long before Earth existed. Civilizations could have risen and fallen billions of years before humanity emerged. Another explanation is bleak. Civilizations destroy themselves. Technology outpaces wisdom. Nuclear war. Ecological collapse. Artificial intelligence. Pandemics. Self-destruction. Inevitable. This explanation assumes intelligence is unstable. But even if many civilizations collapse, it only takes one to survive and expand. Yet expansion still does not appear. Another explanation is distance. Perhaps interstellar travel is simply too difficult. Impossible. But impractical. As we explored earlier, the walls are many. Distance. Energy. Biology. Theology. Economics. Time. Civilizations may look outward, calculate costs, and decide not to go. They may explore locally. Inward. Optimize their own systems. Stars become curiosities rather than destinations. Expansion not be attractive. There is also the possibility of invisibility. Advanced civilizations may not broadcast. They may use communication methods we cannot detect. They may hide intentionally. Silence becomes a survival strategy. In a universe where others may exist, revealing location may be dangerous. This leads to the concept, the dark forest. Every civilization is a hunter. Every signal is a risk. The safest option is silence. If this is true, then our own broadcasts are dangerous. Radio signals announcing our presence, probes carrying information, messages aimed at the stars. These acts, benevolence. The universe does not promise it. But there is a deeper explanation, one that connects all previous walls. The filter. The Great Filter is not a single event. It is a threshold, a point in development that most life never passes. It may lie behind us, or ahead of us. If it lies behind us, then we are rare survivors. Life itself may be extraordinarily unlikely. Complex cells, multicellularity, intelligence. Each step may be a near miracle. If the filter lies ahead, then our future is fragile. Civilizations may reach a stage where expansion becomes self-limiting, where technology demands stability, where risk outweighs curiosity, where survival requires restraint. Interstellar travel represents such a filter, not because it is impossible, but because attempting it destabilizes civilizations. Resources diverted, risks multiplied, time horizons stretched beyond social coherence. Those who may fail, those who survive may choose not to try. In this view, silence is not absence. It outcome. The universe is full of life that stays home. This frames our perspective. Not pioneers delayed. We are residents bounded. The stars may not be calling us. They be warning us. This does not mean exploration ends. It is form. Telescopes instead of ships, probes instead of colonies, information instead of migration, observation instead of occupation. Perhaps intelligence evolves to understand rather than conquer. Perhaps maturity means staying put. This idea, uncomfortable. Human history celebrates expansion, migration, discovery, but history shows the cost. Collapse often follows overreach. Empires fall not from stagnation, but from extension. The universe may enforce similar limits. The silence then becomes understandable, not eerie, not tragic, logical. Civilizations exist. They observe. They calculate. They choose restraint. They become invisible. If this is true, then our current era is dangerous, are loud, reckless. We assume the universe is empty because it does not answer. But silence does not imply absence. It implies discretion. The final question becomes philosophical. What is the purpose of intelligence? Is it to spread endlessly or locally? Is progress measured by distance traveled or understanding gained? If humanity cannot leave the solar system, it does not mean failure. It may mean that the universe expects something else. Preservation, balance, wisdom. The stars may be unreachable, not because we are weak, but because we are meant to learn restraint before reaching for infinity. In the final part, we will confront the hardest conclusion. If interstellar travel is limited, if silence is deliberate, if expansion is not destiny, then humanity for. And what should it become instead? At the end of all questions about space, distance, silence, and limits, one question remains. Not scientific, not technical, human. What is humanity meant to become? For centuries, progress was defined by movement. Across land, across oceans, across borders. Expansion was survival. Those stayed behind disappeared. Those who forward endured. This logic became instinct, so deeply rooted that we barely notice it. When we speak of the future, we imagine motion, ships leaving Earth, colonies forming under alien skies, new suns rising over unfamiliar worlds. But this imagery may be inherited, not inevitable, because the environment that shaped our instincts no longer applies. Earth is finite, space is infinite. The rules change. A species adapted to migrate across planes may not be adapted to migrate across stars, and evolution does not guarantee relevance. It only guarantees survival within context. Perhaps intelligence reaches a point where outward expansion stops being progress, not because forbidden, but because it becomes inefficient, dangerous, destabilizing. If the cost of leaving outweighs the benefit of arriving, wisdom chooses restraint. This reframes stagnation. What we call stagnation may actually be optimization. A civilization that stays is not trapped. It focused. Instead of exporting bodies, it exports understanding. Instead of colonizing space, it studies it. Instead of spreading life outward, it deepens life inward. Technology then evolves differently. Energy efficiency over propulsion, longevity over speed, resilience over reach, knowledge over territory. A civilization like this would leave little trace. No structures, no interstellar empires, no radio noise screaming into the void. From the outside, it would appear silent, invisible, absent. Yet internally, it could be unimaginably advanced, mastering biology, extend life, stabilizing ecosystems, exploring consciousness, mapping reality at scales we cannot yet describe. Perhaps intelligence matures when it stops announcing itself. Silence then becomes a sign of success. This possibility transforms how we interpret the universe. The absence of visitors does not mean no one exists. It may mean everyone who survives learns the same lesson. Do not expand blindly. Do not reveal yourself unnecessarily. Do not destabilize what sustains you. The stars are not destinations. They are points. If this is true, then humanity stands at a crossroads. We are young, technologically powerful, psychologically immature. We assume that because we can attempt something, we should. History warns us against this assumption. Nuclear weapons were possible before wisdom caught up. Industrialization advanced faster than ecological awareness. Information technology outpaced social adaptation. Each time, cost followed capability. Space may be no different. Our desire to leave Earth may reflect fear rather than ambition. Fear, responsibility. Fear, staying. Because staying requires care, maintenance, long-term thinking, intergenerational ethics. Leaving feels heroic. Staying feels boring. But is not failure. It A civilization capable of sustaining itself for millions of years does not need new worlds. It needs balance. Perhaps the real test is not whether we can reach the stars, but whether we can resist the urge to flee our own planet. Whether we can repair, if instead of abandoning it. Whether we can create meaning without constant expansion. If the great filter lies ahead, it may not be a catastrophe. It may be a choice. Civilizations that choose endless growth collapse. Civilizations that choose sustainability endure. The universe does not reward ambition. It tolerates harmony. If humanity survives long enough, we may eventually understand this. We may stop dreaming of escape and start dreaming of permanence. In that future, telescopes replace rockets. Understanding replaces conquest. And the night sky remains what it has always been. A reminder. Not, we will go, but of how small, fragile, and rare awareness truly is. We may never touch another star, but we may learn to live under one. And perhaps that is the final destination intelligence ever reaches. There is a moment that comes to every thinking species. A moment when curiosity collides with limitation. When desire meets silence. For humanity, that moment is now. We have learned enough to ask the right questions, but not enough to like the answers. We look into the sky with instruments capable of seeing billions of years into the past. We detect the of galaxies. We map the afterglow of creation. We identify planets orbiting distant suns. And yet, for all this knowledge, the universe remains quiet. Not empty, quiet. This distinction matters. An empty universe would be simple. A quiet universe is unsettling, because quiet implies presence without response. It implies observation without engagement. It implies that something has already learned what we are still discovering. The absence of signals does not diminish the universe. It diminishes our assumptions. We assumed intelligence would announce itself. We assumed technology would leave scars on the cosmos. We assumed progress would be visible. These assumptions were projections. They came from our own history, our own noise, our own need to be seen. But the universe does not mirror human behavior. It does not reward impatience. It does not amplify ambition. It simply exists, unmoved, different, ancient. Perhaps intelligence does not culminate in monuments. Perhaps it culminates in restraint. A civilization that survives long enough may learn that every action echoes, that every signal carries risk, that every expansion destabilizes something else. Silence then becomes not fear, but etiquette, a way of coexisting with the unknown. If civilizations endure, they may do so by becoming subtle, by blending into cosmic background, by leaving no trace that demands response. We may already be surrounded by such civilizations, physically, but temporally. Civilizations that existed millions of years ago, civilizations that will exist millions of years from now, all separated by time rather than space. The universe may not host simultaneous conversations. It may host relay, one intelligence at a time, each aware, each wondering. Gone. This possibility reframes our urgency. We rush to leave Earth as if time were running out, but perhaps time is all we have. Perhaps our brief window of awareness is not meant for escape, but understanding our planet, our biology, our minds, our capacity for cooperation. Perhaps the rarest phenomenon in the universe is not life. It is sustained wisdom. Stars to burn. Galaxies continue to collide. Physics will continue its slow unfolding. But awareness may flicker briefly and disappear. If that is true, then the responsibility of awareness is enormous. Not to conquer, to spread, but to remember, to understand what it means to exist at all. When we gaze into the night sky, we often imagine future journeys. But perhaps the sky is not a roadmap. Perhaps it a reminder we are not central, not destined, entitled, only temporary, and temporary things require care. The universe does not ask us to leave. It does not invite us to stay. It offers no instructions, only conditions. Within those conditions, we choose who we become. A species obsessed with escape, or a species capable of belonging. The stars will remain distant regardless, but the meaning we extract from their distance defines us. If humanity never reaches another star, it does not mean we failed. It may mean the lesson others learned before us, that survival is not about how far you go, but about you live where you are. The sky does not answer, and never will, because the answer was never out there. It was all. Awareness is not light. It feels light at the beginning. When knowledge expands, it excites. When questions multiply, curiosity grows, but eventually becomes heavy, because it brings responsibility. The more we understand the universe, the less excuses we have. Ignorance allows innocence, removes it. Humanity is crossing a threshold where awareness begins to outweigh instinct. We can no longer pretend that nature is infinite. We can no longer believe that consequences are distant. We can no longer hide behind uncertainty. We see the systems now. Systems, biological systems, social systems, and once seen, they cannot be unseen. This is where many civilizations may falter. Not technological limits, but immoral ones. Technology grows faster than wisdom because wisdom requires restraint. Restraint is unpopular. It feels loss. It feels like limitation. But limitation is not punishment. It is structure. Without structure, nothing endures. In the universe, everything that lasts does so by balance. Stars maintain equilibrium between gravity and pressure. Planets survive within narrow temperature bands. Life persists within fragile chemical windows. Nothing survives by excess, only regulation. If intelligence is part of nature, it must follow the same rule. An intelligence that cannot regulate itself will burn out, explode, collapse. This may be the hidden law behind the silence, not extinction, self-correction. Civilizations that grow too loud attract consequences, not necessarily enemies. Entropy, internal fracture. Those that survive learn to lower their amplitude to and quieter, more efficient, less wasteful, less visible. This applies not only to space, but to thought. A mature intelligence may think less loudly. It may stop trying to explain everything. Stop naming everything. Stop dominating narratives. Silence, then, a sign of depth, not absence. Human culture celebrates expression, broadcasting, sharing, performing. But these behaviors, in small groups, in limited environments, scaled to a planetary civilization, they become noise. Noise destabilizes systems. Noise accelerates conflict. Noise is meaning. The universe itself is not noisy. Most of it is dark, cold, sparse, orderly, violent, and are rare, localized. Perhaps intelligence that aligns with the universe adopts similar behavior. Long periods of stability, occasional bursts of activity, then again. If this is true, then humanity is currently loud because it is young. Youth shouts, maturity listens. The question then becomes uncomfortable. Nary to grow up. Growing up as a species does not look heroic. Looks boring. Maintenance, repair, patience, timelines, decisions whose benefits will be felt by people not yet born. No applause, no monuments, no dramatic finales, just continuity. This is difficult for a species shaped by short lives and immediate rewards. We evolved to survive days and seasons, net millennia. But intelligence forces us into long time. Once we understand consequences that span centuries, we inherit them. We cannot unknow climate physics. We cannot unlearn ecology. We cannot cosmic scale. The universe has made us responsible by allowing us to understand it. This may be the ultimate burden of intelligence, not power. Obligation to act carefully, to think long, to restrain desire. Perhaps this is why the universe feels indifferent. It does not guide us. It does not warn us. It does not reward us. It simply reflects outcomes. If we act recklessly, consequences arrive. If we act carefully, stability persists. Judgment, causality. This reframes the idea of destiny. There may no grand plan, no cosmic narrative, no final expansion, only a series of choices. Each civilization writes its own ending. Some burn brightly and vanish. Some dim slowly and endure. If humanity is to endure, it may need to abandon the fantasy of escape, not abandon exploration. but abandon the belief that salvation lies elsewhere. There is no second Earth waiting, no reset button, no... This planet is not a launch pad. It is the test. And the test is ongoing. Can a technological species live within limits? Can it accept finitude? Can it value continuity over conquest? If the answer is no, then interstellar travel will never save it. If the answer is yes, then perhaps interstellar travel becomes unnecessary, at least a very long time. The universe does not demand expansion. It allows existence. That be enough. There is a stage of awareness where questions stop demanding answers. They begin demanding acceptance. Humanity approaching that stage, not because solve the universe, but because the universe has reacting to us. For a long time, we believed that discovery would always be rewarded with revelation, that if we looked hard enough, something would look back, that the universe would respond to curiosity the way nature on Earth does. But space does not respond. It does not confirm. It does not deny. It simply continues. This forces transformation. When answers disappear, meaning must be rebuilt. Not its certainty, but humility. Perhaps the most difficult lesson intelligence ever learns is that existence does not revolve around it. That awareness is not the center of reality, that the universe does not care whether it is observed. This realization is destabilizing because it removes the illusion of importance, and illusion is comforting. Without it, we face a quieter truth. We are not special. We can travel. We are special when reflect. A star does not ask why it burns. A planet does not question its orbit. But we do. And that question may be the only thing that matters. In the absence of cosmic instruction, we must define our own orientation, not direction. Orientation. Direction asks where we are going. Orientation asks how we exist while staying. Modern culture is obsessed with motion. Movement is celebrated. Stillness is suspected. Silence is uncomfortable. But silence is not emptiness. It is space for meaning. When civilizations are young, they confuse motion with purpose. They run because they do not know how to remain. Remaining requires reconciliation with limits, with mortality, with irreversibility, with the knowledge that not everything can be undone. Space for the fantasy of escape from consequence. In the world, a fresh start. But perhaps that fantasy exists only because we fear accountability. A civilization that stays must face what it has done to planet, to itself, to future generations. Staying means repairing instead of abandoning, understanding instead of replacing, listening instead of broadcasting. This is not dramatic. It does not produce heroic narratives. It does not sell easily. But it produces continuity. Continuity is invisible. Nothing changes quickly. Progress becomes subtle. Boring. But boring is stable. And instability is rare. If intelligence survives long enough, it may redefine success, not expansion, as dominance, but as endurance without degradation. A civilization that lasts becomes conservative in the deepest sense. Not politically, ecologically, energetically, morally. It learns that every gain must be paid for. Every action propagates. Every grows. So, lacks less, but more intention. The universe seems static because it has already reached equilibrium. Most stars are stable. Most systems persist for billions of years. Violence exists, but it is episodic, short, contained. Perhaps intelligence that aligns with the universe adopts the same rhythm. Long periods, quiet existence, occasional bursts of creativity, then again. In this model, space exploration does not disappear. It becomes contemplative. Telescopes, detectors, mathematics, thought experiments, indirect contact, understanding rather than presence, knowledge without intrusion, observation without footprint. This defeat, it is refinement. The more one understands complexity, the less one interferes. A child touches everything. An adult learns when not to. Perhaps civilizations mature the same way. The silence of the universe may be a sign that maturity is common, rare, that most who survive learn to stop shouting, stop expanding, stop announcing themselves, and simply exist well. This challenges our deepest narratives that are meant to conquer, that are meant to spread, that we are to leave. Maybe we are meant to stay long enough to become gentle. Gentle is not weak. Gentle is controlled strength. The ability to act and choose not to. The ability to know and remain silent. The ability to exist without demanding validation. The universe does not validate us. It not judge us. It does not applaud. It only reflects outcomes. If we destroy our environment, we disappear. If we stabilize it, we continue. Drama. No cosmic commentary, just cause and effect. This is unsettling because it removes meaning from outside sources. Meaning must come from within. Choice. From values. From responsibility. The question then becomes simple, not simple. Can humanity to remain, to inhabit deeply, to accept finitude, to create beauty, knowledge without expansion, to value time over territory? If the answer is yes, then silence is not frightening. It is companionship. If the answer is no, then no amount of stars will save us. The universe will remain. We may not. And that be tragedy. It would be consistency. There is a thought that rarely appears in discussions about the universe, not because it is complex, but because uncomfortable. The universe does not remember. Stars are born and die without memory. Galaxies collide without reflection. Atoms rearrange endlessly with no awareness of what they once were. Memory is not a property of reality. It is a fragile phenomenon that appears briefly in certain arrangements of matter. It appears in minds, and then it disappears. Humanity often assumes that leaving a mark is important. That being remembered gives meaning. That legacy matters beyond the moment of existence. But the universe does not preserve legacies. It erases them patiently. Mountains flatten, shift, continents drift. Even planets are temporary. In enough time, all traces vanish. This is cruelty. It's scale. Against this background, the desire to spread across the stars takes on a different tone. Ambition, anxiety, a fear that if we do not expand, we will be forgotten. But expansion does not solve forgetting. It briefly. Even a civilization spread across a galaxy will eventually fade. Stars exhaust their fuel. Entropy will smooth structures into uniformity. Nothing permanent survives time. This raises a quiet question. If nothing lasts, what is the point of lasting longer? The answer may be simpler than expected. Experience, not outcome. The universe does not care something happened, but something experienced itself while it happened. Awareness does not need witnesses. It only needs presence. A thought exists, even if no one else hears it. A feeling matters, even if it leaves no trace. Meaning does not require permanence. It requires immediacy. This reframes existence entirely. If meaning does not depend on legacy, then expansion loses urgency. We do not need to be everywhere. We only need to be here. Fully. Consciously. Responsibly. A civilization obsessed with survival at all costs may lose the very thing it is trying to preserve: quality of experience, depth of understanding, continuity, care. Survival without meaning is endurance, not life. Perhaps the universe allows awareness not to spread, but to concentrate, to exist in silence for a brief moment, like a flame, bright, contained, finite. The beauty of a flame is not in how far it travels, but how fully it burns. Humanity be such a flame, not meant to ignite the cosmos, but meant to illuminate itself for a while. If this is true, then the fear of extinction changes shape. Extinction is not failure. It is completion. Everything that exists completes itself eventually. Stars complete their cycles. Species complete theirs. Civilizations, too. The tragedy, not ending. The tragedy is never understanding while alive, never becoming of awareness itself, never pausing long enough to ask what existence feels like. Space exploration may distract from this question. It turns attention outward, away introspection, away responsibility, away from presence. Remaining forces confrontation with mortality, with limitation, with the knowledge time is finite, but finitude sharpens meaning. An infinite life would dilute experience. Scarcity gives weight. Time gives value. This may be why the universe feels indifferent. It does not need to provide meaning. Meaning emerges because time is limited. If we had endless time, nothing would matter. So perhaps the silence of the universe is not emptiness. It is space for reflection. The stars do not speak so that we can hear ourselves. In this silence, the question shifts again. Not how long we last, not how far can we go, but how should we live, knowing we will not last, knowing we will not be remembered, knowing the universe continue unchanged. The answer may be gentle, carefully, live attentively. Live in a way that does not demand validation from eternity. A civilization that understands this may stop trying to escape time, and instead to inhabit it, moment by moment, generation by generation, without urgency, without panic, without the need to conquer silence. Because is not the enemy. It is the condition that makes awareness possible. Humanity has always looked upward, long before science existed, long before mathematics described motion, long before language learned to name stars. People raised their eyes toward the night sky and felt something unfamiliar, and not hope, but a quiet awareness that the world around them did not end at the horizon. At first the sky was a ceiling, a dome filled with gods and stories. Then it became distance. Later it became emptiness. And finally it became a destination. This transformation shaped the modern worldview. We no longer treat the sky as sacred. We treat it as vacant. And vacancy invites movement. In the 21st century, space is no longer framed as mystery. It is framed as a frontier. And frontiers exist to be crossed. This idea is repeated so often that it begins to feel inevitable, as if history itself were pushing us outward. But inevitability is often nothing more than repetition mistaken for truth. So, let's pause. What if the universe is not open to us? What if the stars are visible but unreachable? What if the dream of interstellar travel is not a delayed achievement, but a understanding of our place in reality? Space does not behave like land or sea. There are no roads between stars, no currents to follow, no winds to carry us. There is only distance, and distance in space is not large, it is overwhelming. Our intuition collapses at this scale. It was never built to handle trillions. We casually say that Mars is far, forgetting that light reaches it in minutes. We speak of deep space while still thinking in neighborhood terms. Beyond the solar system, numbers stop behaving. The nearest star is not across the void, it is across comprehension itself. Even if speed were solved, time would remain. Even if time were accepted, biology would fail. Even if biology were sustained, the mind would fracture. Every solution creates another wall. Distance, radiation, gravity, psychology, ethics, economics. These are not technical problems waiting for better tools. They are structural properties of reality. And yet the deeper question is not whether we can reach the stars. It is why no one else seems to have done so. The universe is vast beyond any reasonable expectation. Planets are common. Chemistry is generous. Time is abundant. And still, when we listen, we hear nothing, no voices, no signals, no unmistakable signs of long-lived technological civilizations. Silence is not neutral. Silence is information. Perhaps civilizations destroy themselves. Perhaps intelligence is rare. Perhaps distance is simply too costly. Or perhaps something more is happening. Perhaps civilizations that survive learn restraint. They calculate the cost of expansion and choose to remain. They learn that visibility is risk. That noise invites consequence. That stability requires quiet. If this is true, then the silence of the universe is not absence. It is outcome. Civilizations exist, observe, endure, and do not announce themselves. Expansion becomes unnecessary. Observation becomes sufficient. Understanding replaces occupation. This reframes humanity's future. Maybe we are not delayed pioneers. Maybe we are young residents who have not yet learned to stay. Staying is harder than leaving. Leaving feels heroic. Staying requires responsibility. It requires care. It requires solving problems instead of escaping them. A civilization that stays must face what it has done to its planet, to its systems, to its future generations. Earth is not a launch pad. It is a test environment, a closed system that demands balance. If intelligence cannot live sustainably here, it will not live sustainably anywhere. The universe does not ask us to leave. It does not invite us to stay. It offers no guidance, only consequences. And within those consequences, we choose who we become. Awareness itself carries weight. The more we understand, the less innocence we retain. Knowledge replaces excuses with responsibility. Technology accelerates faster than wisdom, because wisdom requires restraint. Nothing in the universe survives by excess. Stars balance pressure and gravity. Planets persist within narrow limits. Life survives within fragile chemical windows. If intelligence is part of nature, it must obey the same rule. Perhaps this is the true great filter. Not catastrophe, but self-regulation. A civilization that cannot restrain itself burns out. One that learns balance endures quietly. Over time, intelligence may become subtle, less expressive, less expansionist, more efficient, more careful. Silence then becomes a sign of maturity. The universe itself is quiet, mostly dark, mostly cold. Violent events are rare and brief. Perhaps intelligence that survives learns to match that rhythm. Long periods of stability, short moments of change, then stillness again. At some point, the question of legacy dissolves. The universe does not remember, it erases patiently. Even stars fade. Meaning does not come from permanence. It comes from experience. Awareness does not need witnesses. It only needs presence. If nothing lasts, then expansion does not solve forgetting. It only delays it. A civilization spread across galaxies will still disappear. What matters is not how long something is remembered, but how fully it was experienced while it existed. This changes everything. We do not need to be everywhere. We do not need to escape time. We do not need to conquer silence. We need to live carefully within it. The stars do not speak so that we can hear ourselves. The universe does not answer because the answer was never external. The question was always how to live, knowing we are temporary. If humanity learns this, then even if we never reach another star, we will not have failed. We will have done what few things in the universe ever do. We will have understood ourselves before disappearing. And yet, even knowing all of this, humanity continues to look outward as if the answer is hidden somewhere beyond the stars, as if meaning itself were delayed contact, until discovery, until confirmation that we are not alone. This desire is understandable. Loneliness is one of the most powerful forces shaping intelligence. To be aware is to feel separated. To feel separated is to search for connection. But perhaps connection does not arrive the way we imagine. We assume that if other intelligence exists, they must want what we want. We project curiosity, ambition, fear, conquest, hope. We imagine ships, signals, messages written in mathematics or light. We imagine arrival. We imagine disclosure. This is projection, not evidence. Intelligence does not automatically produce expansion. Awareness does not require movement. Curiosity does not mandate contact. These are human assumptions shaped by our evolutionary path, not universal laws. A species that evolves under different pressures may value concealment over expression. It may learn early that survival depends on remaining unnoticed. It may discover that broadcasting location is equivalent to vulnerability. On a cosmic scale, anonymity could be the most advanced technology. If so, then the universe may be full, but deliberately quiet. Silence becomes a strategy. This reframes every anomaly, every unexplained signal, every fleeting observation, every object that appears briefly and then vanishes. Not as evidence of visitors, but as evidence of restraint. Not arrival, but passing. Not communication, but avoidance. If intelligence exists elsewhere, it may not be curious about us in the way we imagine. Curiosity itself may be a temporary phase. A stage intelligence grows out of once it understands the risks of attention. Children explore loudly. Adults learn caution. Perhaps civilizations mature into invisibility. This idea is uncomfortable because it removes us from the center of the story. It suggests that intelligence does not inevitably culminate in contact, alliance, or revelation. It suggests that the universe is not waiting for us to catch up. We may be early, or we may be irrelevant, or both. And that's not an insult. It is a reality check. The cosmos does not assign roles. It does not care about narrative satisfaction. It does not reward curiosity with answers. It only responds to interaction, and interaction carries cost. Even our own planet demonstrates this. Every major expansion in human history brought unintended consequences. Exploration led to exploitation. Discovery led to collapse. Power outpaced responsibility again and again. Why would this pattern magically reverse at interstellar scales? If humanity were to encounter another intelligence today, the imbalance would be extreme. Either we would be the weaker party or the stronger one. Neither outcome guarantees benefit. History suggests the opposite. This is why silence may be mercy. The universe may not be hostile, but it is indifferent. Indifference is more dangerous than malice because it does not adjust to our expectations. It does not negotiate. It does not explain. Understanding this requires a shift in perspective, not outward, but inward. What is it for? Is it for expansion? Is it for dominance? Is it for survival alone? Or is it for understanding experience while it exists? Biology gave rise to awareness not to conquer space, but to navigate immediate environments. Consciousness is local. It evolved to handle proximity, not infinity. Every attempt to scale it beyond its domain introduces instability. We feel awe because the universe exceeds us. Awe is not an invitation to conquer. It is a signal to pause. Modern civilization treats awe as fuel. We convert wonder into ambition, ambition into technology, technology into acceleration. Acceleration becomes identity. Slowing down feels like failure, but nothing in nature accelerates forever. Stars burn out. Expansion slows. Entropy wins. Intelligence that aligns itself with these realities adapts. Intelligence that resists them exhausts itself. This may be why long-lived civilizations do not leave monuments. They do not broadcast. They do not announce arrival. They fade quietly, leaving minimal trace, like stable chemical reactions that complete without excess heat. We expect ruins. We expect megastructures. We expect signs visible across galaxies. These expectations are shaped by human ego, not by survival logic. A civilization that leaves megastructures is a civilization that advertises itself. Advertising invites interaction. Interaction invites risk. Survival may depend on the opposite: minimal footprint, low energy signature, controlled emissions, no unnecessary signals. The ultimate stealth is simply being ordinary. From this perspective, Earth is loud. Our radio emissions leak into space. Our atmospheric chemistry is unstable. Our orbital debris grows. Our energy use spikes. Our signatures scream adolescence. We are not hidden. We are broadcasting confusion. If others are watching, they are not impressed. They are cautious. This also reframes the idea of observation. If humanity is being observed, it may not be for contact, but for prediction. Not to interact, but to assess trajectory, to determine whether we stabilize or self-destruct. Observation does not imply intervention. We observe endangered species without interfering. We study storms without stopping them. We monitor systems to understand outcomes, not to alter them. Why would cosmic intelligence behave differently? If intervention occurs, it would likely be rare, subtle, and constrained. Not to guide culture, but to prevent irreversible damage to shared environments. Interference would be the exception, not the rule. This idea is unsettling because it removes fantasy and replaces it with responsibility. It suggests that the universe does not owe us revelation. It suggests that if we want answers, we must earn them through stability, not curiosity alone. Contact may not come through technology. It may come through maturity, and maturity cannot be rushed. At some point, humanity must decide what kind of intelligence it wants to be. One that expands until it breaks, or one that understands when to stop. Stopping does not mean stagnation. It means refinement. It means dover breadth. It means improving internal systems rather than extending reach. The most complex structures in nature are not the largest. They are the most balanced. Perhaps intelligence follows the same rule. If so, then the future of humanity is not written in the stars, but in restraint, in how we manage energy, in how we treat ecosystems, in how we resolve conflict without escalation, in how we coexist with uncertainty. The universe is not a puzzle waiting to be solved. It is a condition we exist within. We do not need permission to exist. We do not need validation from elsewhere. We do not need proof that we matter. Meaning does not come from scale. It comes from coherence. A single conscious moment has more value than an empire that does not understand itself. And if one day humanity disappears, as all things do, the universe will not notice. But that does not negate our experience. It simply frames it. Existence does not require audience. Understanding does not make the universe smaller. It makes it honest. The idea that intelligence must announce itself is a deeply human one. We shout to be noticed because silence once meant danger. In our evolutionary past, silence often preceded attack or death. Noise meant presence. Presence meant survival. But the universe does not share our instincts. Space is not a savanna. Silence is not threat. Silence is default. Between stars there is no sound, no vibration, no medium for voices. The universe did not evolve ears, it evolved distance. And distance, everything. When we imagine others, we imagine them near. Near enough to respond, near enough to hear us, near enough to care. But cosmic intelligence, if it exists at scales where response times are measured in centuries, not seconds, where cause and effect drift apart, where reaction loses urgency. In such an environment, impatience is lethal. Civilizations that survive must learn to think slowly. Decisions echo for millennia. Errors cannot be corrected quickly. Aggression has no immediate payoff. Expansion carries consequences that outlive those who initiate it. Perhaps this is why long-lived intelligence becomes conservative. Not politically, but energetically. It spends carefully. It emits minimally. It acts rarely. The louder a civilization is, the shorter its lifespan. Humanity has not yet learned this. We equate speed with progress, growth with success, consumption with achievement. Our systems reward acceleration even when it destabilizes the foundations beneath them. This is not because we are foolish. It is because we are young. Youth mistakes momentum for direction. If intelligence has a life cycle, then adolescence is defined by experimentation without foresight, by curiosity untempered by consequence, by noise. Maturity, in contrast, is quiet. It is not less intelligent. It is more selective. This reframes the fear that the universe is empty. Emptiness is not evidence of absence. It may be evidence of completion. Civilizations that survive do not need to expand. They have already solved the problems that expansion was meant to escape. Energy scarcity, resource limitation, internal conflict, environmental instability. Expansion is often a response to failure at home. If Earth were stable, harmonious, and sustainable, would humanity still dream so desperately of leaving it behind? Or would space exploration slow, becoming observation rather than migration? The fantasy of escape is older than rockets. It appears in myths, religions, and ideologies. When reality becomes difficult, imagination invents elsewhere. Heaven, Elysium, other worlds. But mature intelligence does not flee its environment, it adapts to it. This is not resignation, it is responsibility. Space does not absolve us of our actions. Carrying our conflicts into the cosmos does not purify them, it magnifies them. Imagine humanity spreading its current systems across planets. The same inequalities, the same exploitation, the same short-term thinking, multiplied by distance and delay. Interstellar conflict would not be cinematic. It would be tragic beyond repair. Decisions made light years away would unfold too slowly to stop. Regret would arrive after consequence. This is why advanced civilizations may choose stillness. Not stagnation, stillness. They refine internal complexity instead of expanding external footprint. They explore consciousness rather than territory. They map understanding instead of space. Perhaps the ultimate frontier is not distance but depth. Depth of awareness, depth of ethics, depth of responsibility. From this perspective, humanity's obsession with contact reveals insecurity. We want confirmation that we matter, that we are seen, that our struggles are part of something larger. But meaning does not require validation. The universe does not congratulate stars for shining. They burn because physics demands it. Intelligence thinks because biology permits it. Purpose is something we assign, not something granted. If others exist, they do not owe us explanation. This realization is uncomfortable because it removes the comforting idea of cosmic guidance. No watchers, no guardians, no judges. Just processes unfolding, and yet, this is liberating. It means humanity is free to define itself, not in comparison to others, not in anticipation of contact, but in relation to its own potential. Silence becomes space for reflection. The absence of answers is not a flaw. It is a condition. If the universe answered every question, intelligence would stagnate. Curiosity requires uncertainty. Meaning requires ambiguity. We often say that discovery drives progress, but discovery without wisdom leads to collapse. Knowledge accumulates faster than understanding. Power grows faster than restraint. This imbalance is the real threat. Perhaps civilizations do not vanish because of cosmic disasters, but because they fail to synchronize capability with responsibility. Technology is easy. Wisdom is slow. This asymmetry is dangerous. A civilization that reaches nuclear capability before ethical maturity risks self-destruction. A civilization that reaches planetary engineering before ecological wisdom risks collapse. A civilization that reaches interstellar reach before social stability risks spreading chaos. If others exist, they have likely faced these thresholds. Those who failed are gone. Those who passed learned caution. Survivors do not rush to announce themselves. Watch. Watching does not imply superiority. It implies patience. Observation allows prediction. Prediction allows avoidance. Avoidance preserves stability. This may be the quiet logic underlying the universe. Not conquest, not collaboration, but coexistence through distance. If so, then humanity's future depends not on finding others, but on becoming the kind of intelligence others would not fear. Fear is the currency of cosmic interaction. A civilization that appears unstable is dangerous. A civilization that broadcasts internal conflict is unpredictable. A civilization that accelerates without restraint is risky to approach. If others are listening, they are not waiting for our messages. They are waiting for our behavior to change. Stability is the signal. Not radio waves, not lasers, not probes. Consistency. A planet that stabilizes its climate. A species that reduces violence. A society that manages growth without collapse. These are unmistakable signals. They take time. And time is the only resource the universe offers generously. We often ask whether humanity will survive. But survival is not binary. There are many ways to continue existing while losing coherence. Fragmentation, decay, irrelevance. Survival worth having requires integration. Integration between technology and ethics, between power and care, between knowledge and humility. Without this, expansion becomes meaningless. The stars do not judge us, but physics does not forgive imbalance. Everything that exists must obey limits. Civilizations that understand limits thrive quietly. Those that ignore them burn brightly and briefly. Perhaps the universe is not empty. Perhaps it is full of lessons written in absence. The question is whether humanity is ready to read them. It is tempting to believe that discovery will save us. That one signal, one artifact, one undeniable confirmation will reorder priorities, dissolve conflicts, and unite humanity under a shared realization. This belief is powerful because it promises resolution without responsibility. It suggests that meaning can arrive from outside rather than being built from within. History does not support this hope. Every major discovery reshaped power structures before it reshaped values. Fire, agriculture, writing, industry, energy, information networks. Each breakthrough amplified existing tendencies. Cooperation increased, but so did exploitation. Knowledge expanded, but so did inequality. Awareness widened, but fear adapted alongside it. There is no reason to believe contact would be different. If tomorrow an unmistakable non-human signal were confirmed, would not pause in collective reflection. It would fragment into interpretations, governments would classify, markets would speculate, ideologies would compete. Fear would accelerate faster than understanding. The signal itself would matter less than how it was framed. Information does not unite by default. It divides according to existing fault lines. This is another reason why advanced civilizations may avoid contact. Not because others are unworthy, but because contact lies more than it enlightens. The shock of perspective does not guarantee wisdom. It often produces panic. Perhaps the universe learned this lesson long before we did. Distance then becomes a buffer. Silence becomes a filter. Only civilizations capable of coherence would ever be safe to approach, and coherence is rare. Humanity is still learning how to coexist with itself. Our technologies connect us instantly, but our values lag centuries behind. We can transmit images across the planet in seconds, yet struggle to agree on basic principles of dignity and restraint. We can model distant galaxies while failing to manage local ecosystems. This imbalance is not accidental. Complexity grows faster than wisdom because complexity is additive while wisdom is integrative. It requires synthesis, reflection, and time. Time is the resource we refuse to give ourselves. We demand acceleration. We reward speed. We punish delay. The universe does not operate on human schedules. Its most significant processes unfold slowly. Stars form over millions of years. Galaxies evolve over billions. Stability is not rushed. Intelligence that survives must align its tempo with reality. Perhaps this is why the universe feels empty. We are listening too loudly and too briefly, expecting immediate response in a medium where patience is fundamental. We send messages and wait decades, then declare silence. But decades are nothing at cosmic scale. A reply could already be on its way, traveling patiently, indifferent to our impatience. Or perhaps no reply is coming, because replies are unnecessary. If others exist, they may not communicate in ways we recognize. They may not prioritize symbolism, language, or signaling. Their intelligence may be structured around internal processes rather than external exchange. Communication is not a universal requirement of intelligence. It is a social adaptation. Solitary intelligences may evolve without it. Distributed intelligences may not experience individuality in the way we do. Our expectations are narrow. We imagine minds like ours because that is all we know. But the universe has no obligation to repeat itself. Intelligence may are arms that do not seek conversation, that consider conversation inefficient. This challenges the anthropocentric lens through which we view the cosmos. We search for ourselves in the stars, and when we do not find familiar shapes, we assume absence. Perhaps the problem is not emptiness, but expectation. The universe may be full of processes that do not announce themselves as intelligence, because intelligence itself may not look the way we imagine at scale. Consciousness could be diffuse. Awareness could be collective. Decision-making could be non-local. Our categories may be too small. This realization invites humility. Not cosmic humility as all, but epistemic humility. The understanding that our frameworks are provisional, that our definitions are temporary, that what we seek may not fit the boxes we built to find it. Science advances by refining questions, not by clinging to answers. The greatest discoveries often occur when assumptions collapse. Perhaps the assumption that intelligence must be visible is one such collapse waiting to happen. If so, then the future of cosmic understanding will not come from louder signals, but from quieter interpretation. From learning how to detect absence as pattern, from recognizing restraint as signature. Silence is not random. It is structured. Between galaxies, matter forms filaments and voids. The universe is not uniformly empty, it has architecture. Perhaps intelligence follows similar distributions, concentrated where conditions favor it, absent where instability dominates. Humanity may exist in a region of cosmic adolescence, a noisy neighborhood where civilizations rise and fall before achieving long-term equilibrium. Those that reach equilibrium leave fewer traces. This is not pessimism, it is ecology applied to intelligence. Every ecosystem has pioneers, bloom phases, crashes, and stable states. Intelligence may be no different. Most experiments fail, few persist. Survivors do not look like pioneers, they look unremarkable. They blend in background conditions. If this is true, then searching for dramatic signs may be misguided. The most advanced civilizations may be the hardest to detect because they no longer disrupt their environment. They do not alter stellar outputs. They do not build massive structures. They do not radiate excess energy. They exist within narrow margins, indistinguishable from natural processes. This is the ultimate camouflage. We may already be surrounded by intelligence and never know it. Not because it hides from us intentionally, but because it has no reason to announce itself. Announcement is a young species impulse. With time, the impulse fades, and so we return to humanity. We stand at a threshold. Our technologies grant us unprecedented power. Our understanding reveals unprecedented fragility. We can choose acceleration or integration, expansion or refinement. The universe does not force this choice, it waits. Waiting is not passive, it is selective. Only civilization capable of long-term thinking pass through. Others burn brightly, briefly, and vanish without witness. The stars do not mourn them, something deeper. A quiet awareness that the world around them did not end at the horizon. At first, the sky was a ceiling, untamed, a realm of gods, spirits, ancestors. The stars were fixed points, eternal and unreachable. Later, they became lights. Later still, objects. And finally, destinations. This gradual transformation shaped the modern worldview. We no longer see the sky as sacred. We see it as empty, and emptiness invites movement. In the 21st century, space is no longer framed as mystery. It is framed as a frontier, and frontiers exist to be crossed. This idea is repeated constantly. In films, in headlines, in speeches by scientists and politicians. Humanity will become a multi-planetary species. Humanity will leave behind. Humanity will spread among the stars. The phrase sounds almost inevitable, as if history itself were pushing us outward. But inevitability is often an illusion created by repetition, because when an idea is repeated long enough, it begins to feel true even before it is tested. So, let's pause and ask a question that almost no one asks seriously. What if the universe is not open to us? What if the stars are visible but unreachable? What if the dream of interstellar travel is not a delayed achievement, a misunderstanding of our place in reality? This is not pessimism, it is nation. Every civilization creates myths. Some are religious, some are political, some are technological. In our time, one of the strongest myths is expansion, the belief that progress must always move outward, that stagnation is death, that survival requires constant growth. This logic works on Earth. It fails in space, because space does not behave like land or sea. There are no trade routes between stars, no winds to catch, no currents to ride. There is only distance. And distance in space is not merely large, it is overwhelming. We casually say that Mars is far, but far relative. Mars is far only by human standards. By cosmic standards, Mars is next door. When we speak about space exploration, we often compress scales without realizing it. The moon is described as distant, yet light reaches it in a single second. Mars feels remote, yet radio signals arrive in minutes. Even the outer planets remain within hours of communication delay. These distances feel dramatic to us. They are trivial to the universe. Now let us move beyond the solar system, not emotionally, numerically. The nearest star system beyond our own is Proxima Centauri. It is more than light years away. That number, small. 4. A number we use to count objects on a table. But a light year is not a metaphor. It is a measurement. Nearly 10 kilometers. Multiply that by 4. Now pause. Because this is where intuition fails. Human intuition evolved to survive on plains and forests. It is not equipped to understand trillions. So we build models. Imagine the sun reduced to the size of an orange. In this model, Earth becomes a grain of sand orbiting 26 meters away. Jupiter shrinks to a marble. Pluto drifts more than a kilometer from the orange. The entire solar system fits comfortably inside a neighborhood. Now ask the nearest star is. Not across the street, not the city. 7,000 kilometers away. Here, another orange on the other side of a continent. Between them, nothing. No bridges, no stepping stones, just darkness. This is the environment we are discussing when we speak casually about interstellar travel. Not a road, an abyss. At this scale, speed becomes irrelevant, because speed encounters its own absolute boundary, the speed of light. For centuries, speed was assumed to be relative. Go faster, and you arrive sooner. Then physics intervened. Einstein showed that light speed is not just fast. It is fundamental. It is woven into space-time itself. Nothing, mass can reach it. As an object accelerates toward it, time slows. Energy requirements explode. At the limit, energy becomes infinite. This is not a technical problem waiting for better engines. It is a structural rule of the universe, and it reshapes everything. Even if we imagine technologies far beyond our own, speeds remain constrained. 10% of light speed would be extraordinary, precedented. Yet even at that speed, a journey to the nearest star would take more than 40 years. 1. No detours, no stops. A human lifetime compressed into transit, and this assumes ideal conditions. Failures, no emergencies, no deceleration issues, no unforeseen physics. The universe does not reward optimism, it rewards precision. Now consider what humanity has actually achieved. Our fastest spacecraft ever built, Voyager 1, was launched in 1977. It has traveled for decades. It has left the solar system. It carries a message, a symbol of hope. Yet in terms, Voyager has barely moved. In nearly 50 years, it has traveled less than 1,000th of a light year. At its current speed, it would require tens of thousands of years to reach the nearest star. Civilizations rise and fall in less time. Languages disappear. Species vanish. Stars themselves change. Time is first great barrier. Distance. Time. Interstellar travel stretches time beyond biological relevance, and time brings consequences. Machines degrade. Materials fatigue. Systems fail. Entropy does not sleep. Every year multiplies risk. Every decade compounds uncertainty. A mission lasting generations would require not just engineering, it would require faith. Faith that remains intact. That goal's unchanged. That future humans remain committed to decisions made centuries earlier. This has never happened in human history. Not once. Empires collapse. Ideologies shift, priorities mutate. Time is not neutral, it intent. Now let us assume, for a moment, that time is acceptable, that humanity accepts journeys measured in lifetimes. We still face propulsion. Rockets are our primary means of leaving Earth. Powerful, reliable, violent. But rockets obey mathematics that does not negotiate. To go faster, you need fuel. To carry fuel, you need fuel. The relationship, exponential. Small increases in speed demand massive increases in fuel mass. At interstellar scales, the numbers become absurd. Not large. Absurd. The mass required exceeds planets, exceeds stars, exceeds any plausible resource base. Chemical rockets are useless beyond local space. Nuclear propulsion improves efficiency, but not enough. Fusion promises miracles, yet remains unsolved even on Earth. Every proposed breakthrough collapses under scale. Propulsion is the second wall. Now let us imagine propulsion is solved. A miracle engine. Something unknown. Physics allows it. The universe, indifferent. Space is not empty. It is saturated with radiation. High-energy particles stream through it continuously. Galactic cosmic rays. Atomic nuclei traveling near light speed. Each one capable of damaging DNA. Earth is protected by a magnetic field. Beyond it, exposure is constant. Shielding. But shielding adds mass. Mass worsens propulsion. Active shielding, theoretical. Radiation silently. A Mars mission already pushes safety limits. Decades in interstellar space would guarantee catastrophic damage without revolutionary protection. Radiation is the third wall. Then, gravity. Human bodies require it. Remove gravity, and systems fail. And weaken. Shrink. Vision. Fluids shift. Artificial gravity is possible through rotation. But rotating structure large enough to avoid disorientation are massive, complex, vulnerable. Gravity is the fourth wall. Then comes the mind. Isolation, monotony, confinement, the brain for change, for social complexity. Remove these, and cognition degrades, grows. Conflict intensifies. Even short missions strain psychology. Multiply this by decades. Escape. No real-time communication. No return. Psychology, the fifth wall, and at the beginning. Pause here, because this is the moment where dreams begin to crack. Not because they are foolish, but because reality is indifferent. In the next part, we will move deeper into survival systems, into economics, into politics, into the uncomfortable possibility that the universe is not waiting for us. It is there, silent, and very far away. And so, question is no longer whether we are alone. The real question, whether we are ready not to be. Not ready in the sense of technology or to detection systems, but ready internally. Ready to accept that humanity may not be the central narrative of the universe. Ready to live with the idea that meaning does not require exclusivity. That intelligence does not need permission. That existence does not revolve around recognition. For most of human history, the sky was a mirror. We projected gods onto it, then hopes, then fears. Now we project ourselves, our machines, our logic, our anxieties. We search the universe the same way we once searched the clouds, expecting familiar shapes. But the universe is not obligated to reflect us. It may contain minds that have no concept of progress as we define it, no ambition to expand, no need to dominate, no urge to leave monuments. They may have learned something we have not yet learned. That survival is not about becoming larger, louder, faster. It is about becoming quieter, steadier, aligned. Civilizations do not disappear only through catastrophe. Many likely dissolve voluntarily. They simplify. They merge with their environments. They shed complexity the way organisms shed unnecessary traits. Intelligence does not always climb upward. Sometimes it folds inward. This is difficult for us to accept because our culture equates growth with success, expansion with victory, presence with importance. But the universe rewards balance, not ambition. Stars that burn too fiercely burn out quickly. Perhaps the silence we hear is not abandonment, but precedent, a record of those who came before us and chose differently. If that is true, then the absence of obvious contact is not a warning nor a promise. An invitation to mature without supervision, to solve our own contradictions, to learn restraint before we learn interstellar travel. Because a civilization that cannot coexist with itself will not coexist well with others. This is not moralizing. It is physics applied to behavior. Instability scales, conflict scales, waste scales, and eventually collapse scales too. The universe does not intervene. It filters. And so the future of humanity is not written in signals from distant stars, nor hidden in classified files, nor waiting behind the next telescope upgrade. It is written in choices made quietly, daily, without witnesses. Whether we choose to value understanding over certainty, whether we learn to slow down without stagnating, whether we can hold uncertainty without filling it with fear. If we ever do encounter undeniable evidence of other intelligence, it will not answer our deepest questions. It will intensify them. It will not tell us who we are. It will force us to decide. Until then, the silence remains. Not empty, just patient. And somewhere between the noise of our own thoughts and the vast calm of the cosmos, humanity stands exactly where it needs to be, at the beginning of responsibility, not as masters of the universe, not as its center, but as one brief voice learning whether it deserves to continue speaking.